Hey guys, film recaps here, and today we're covering a 2019 horror thriller called Dr. Sleep. The movie opens in the woods where a little girl, Violet, comes out of a caravan and is seen going to pick some flowers. Her mother tells her not to wander too far. After picking some flowers, she meets a woman alongside the river, whose name is Rose. Rose is wearing a hat and she gives a flower to Violet from her bunch of flowers. She tells Violet that she always wears this hat and because of it, her best friends call her by the name, Rose the Hat. Violet says that it looks like a magician's hat. Rose agrees and tells her that it is indeed a magic hat. She takes her hat off, blows inside, and shows her that it is empty. Meanwhile, Violet sees a man watching them in the woods. She sees that this man is also wearing a hat. Rose tells Violet that she does not have to worry because the man is her friend. She asks Violet to concentrate on the trick she is going to show her. Then Rose asks her to put her hand inside the hat. Violet is surprised to find a purple flower. Rose takes another flower from inside and asks her to guess its color. As Violet tells her that she thinks it's a purple flower, she notices that some more people are watching them from afar. Afterward, it turns out to be a violet flower. Rose eats that flower. Violet tells her that she shouldn't eat flowers as they are very special. Then Rose holds her hand and she looks nervous. Violet is frightened to watch her eyes glowing and tells her that she has to go back to her mother. But Rose asks her to stay a while to see more magic. Rose holds her hand tightly so that she does not run away. The scene ends when those people attack Violet in the woods. In the next scene, a kid named Danny is shown. He is being traumatized by the ghosts of Overlook Hotel. The ghosts want to consume Danny's psychic power, which they call the Shining. He sees horrific dreams. When he wakes up, he goes to the bathroom. He hears the sound of dripping water and opens the door. He finds a ghost in the bathtub, and he runs outside and covers his eyes with his hands. Her mother shows up and asks him why he has not talked since they left the Overlook Hotel, as they had been there for a while. Since then, he has been haunted by those ghosts. The next morning, we are introduced to the spirit of the Overlook Hotel chef, Dick Halloran. He tells Danny that the ghosts of the Overlook Hotel are still haunting him because of his shining. He tells them how to lock them in a box in his mind. He advises him how to use his shining against them. Then, Dick Halloran tells him that he should go back to his mother, who was looking for him. Danny's mother beware him that next time he has to tell her before going anywhere. Then, we see that he goes to the bathroom and sees a ghost in the bathtub again. He goes inside, shuts the door of the bathroom, and uses Dick Halloran's method to trap the ghost in a box. The movie fast forward to the year 2011. Danny has become an adult, who wakes up from a hangover and remembers the fight he had in the club last night. In the next scene, we see that he has spent the night with a stranger girl. Danny steals money from her purse. Dick Halloran's spirit comes to him and he asks him to keep the money back, but Danny tells him that the woman stole his money and bought a Coke. However, Dick Halloran tells him not to live such a miserable and dirty life. After this, we see a girl, Andy, in a theater. She also has the power to shine and she can make anyone sleep with her mental power. A man who used to assault young girls comes to her. Andy uses her power to make that man sleep and then makes a mark of snakebite on his cheek. Then Andy shows her power in the theater. Rose watches this along with her friend Crow. As Andy leaves the theater, Rose and Crow follow her. Rose offers Andy to join her group so that she can stay strong and alive for a long time. Andy accepts her offer to join her group, True Not. Next, Danny is shown traveling to Fraser, New Hampshire. During this, he gets a signal from another shining girl, Abra Stone. She does magic tricks with her brain power. In Hampshire, Danny meets a man, Billy, who gives him a room to stay. Then, we see Andy at the seaside. Rose comes to ask her if she's ready or not. When Andy sees the other people, she asks her who they are, but Rose tells her that she will know them soon. Rose makes Andy lie in her lap and asks her that she must not fear. Then, a small ritual is performed by them. It is revealed that the group hunts people who shine. Rose takes out Violet's steam. She blows it into Andy's mouth and she becomes another hunting member of the True Not group. While searching for work in a new city, Billy gets Danny to meet Dr. John. After the meeting is over, Danny notices that Dr. John has lost his watch. He tells him that he has left it on the soap dispenser. The next day, Dr. John asks him how he knew where the watch was. Danny tells him that it was only a lucky guess. The doctor gets impressed and keeps Danny at work at his hospice care center. One night, while working in the hospital, Danny watches a white cat that enters a patient's room. When he goes to get the cat out, he finds it lingering by the side of the patient. The patient tells him that it comes only when someone is close to death. He tells him that he is getting scared, but Danny tells him that death is not a scary thing as it is just a truly restful sleep. These words comfort the patient and he calls him Dr. Sleep. Danny wants to call a doctor for him as he thinks he isn't where he should be at that time. But the patient tells him that he is exactly where he should be. After some time, that patient dies. When Danny comes back home, he gets a message from Abra Stone, a girl with the ability to shine. Then, after 8 years at the hospice care center, Danny is shown giving a speech about how he quit alcoholism unlike his father. One night, he is busy helping another patient to go to sleep before dying, as the white cat lingers by his side. He asks the patient if he wants him to get a pill. The patient says that he doesn't need anything and he isn't scared of death. Danny tells him that he believes that people do not end and death is only a peaceful sleep. The patient tells him that he can feel the taste of blueberries that his mother used to grow. Danny recites the patient's good memories and they both sing a song until he passes away. When Danny comes back to his house, he gets a message from Abra Stone, who has been linking up with him telepathically. The members of the True Knot group are worried because they cannot find good prey for a long time. Crow tells Rose that people nowadays have been involved in materialistic things like fast food and Netflix. This thing is affecting their shining power and the good steam has become a rare thing. Finally, the members of the True Knot group make a young baseball player their prey. They abduct him on his way back home and then Rose tortures him to death. The reason for this torture is that the more the victim suffers intense pain, the more steam it will release, which will make them live for a longer time. This also makes them powerful. As they kill the young baseball player, Abra Stone watches everything with the help of her mental power. She tries to stop them. Rose senses that someone with extreme shining power is trying to stop them from thousands of miles away. Abra telepathically tells Danny that some monstrous people have murdered a young boy. When Rose and Crow bury the dead body of the young boy, she tells him that she has sensed a girl far away with an interesting shining power. Crow cannot believe that someone looked at them from 1,500 miles away. She tells him that she hasn't come across such a huge power before. Rose uses her telepathy power to know where her new victim is. She finds her, but Abra's shining power is very high. She traps Rose and hurts her. Danny and Abra meet in a park and become friends. Abra gives him some information about the baseball boy's killers and who eats people's shine. Danny asks her not to expose her shine as this can attract those people and they will start looking for her. Abra tells him that she can help him find the place where the boy has been buried. But Danny refuses to help her. At the hospice care center, Danny watches the white cat going to an empty room. When he follows the cat, he finds Dick Halloran's spirit, who tells him that there is a cult who eats screams and drinks pain. He tells him that the cult has noticed the little girl, Abra, and they might turn her or might keep her till she is all used up. He asks Danny to help her. He also tells him that this is their last meeting. One night, Rose finds Abra's house through her psychic power. Abra injures her badly by her psychic trap. Then, she tells Danny about her encounter with Rose. One of the True Knot group's members dies on the same night. He dies because the group hasn't been eating well for a long time. Andy tells Rose that she thought they would never die, but Rose tells her that she never said that they were immortal. They can only live a long life if they eat well. Danny takes Billy with him in a car to find the dead body of the baseball boy. Abra joins them through her mental power. She tells Danny how she got into Rose's head. She tells him that Rose was scared like a child. Then, Abra gets into his head for showing him her trick. Abra finds some boxes in his mind. Danny tells her that when he was a kid, he used to be traumatized by ghosts. He trapped those ghosts in the boxes in his mind. He asks her to never go there again. After recovering the dead body, Danny goes to Abra's home. Abra shows her father the members of the True Knot people by getting into his head. Danny gives her the baseball boy's glove by which she senses those people coming in search of her in a caravan. But she doesn't see Rose. Danny tells her father that the members of the True Knot group have started chasing Abra. Danny takes Abra into the woods. They wait for those people. When the members of True Knot arrive, Abra uses her power to trap them while Danny and Billy shoot all of them. While dying, Andy hypnotizes Billy and makes him kill himself. Meanwhile, Crow abducts Abra from her house by drugging her to sleep. He killed her father. Danny tries to talk to Abra telepathically. He meets Abra in the van in which Crow took her. He shines into Abra and makes the van hit a tree. Later, Abra wakes up and sees Crow taking his last breath. Then, Rose is shown, who consumes all the steam that she had preserved in flasks. Danny reunites with Abra and takes her to Ohio in the car. He tells her that Rose must be following her. Dan brings Abra to the Overlook as a last resort, believing it will be equally dangerous for Rose. He starts the hotel's boiler and explores the dormant building, awakening it with his shining. At the same time, he has visions of his time at the hotel, including his father Jax breaking into a bathroom door to kill his mother, Wendy. The next scene opens when Rose arrives at the Overlook Hotel. She finds Abra and Danny. In a fight, Danny is attacked by Rose. She hurts him in the leg with the axe and takes his steam while torturing him. But he saves himself by opening boxes in his mind where he had trapped the Overlook's ghosts. Drawn by Rose's power, the ghosts overwhelm and devour her, before turning on Danny and possessing him in a bid to make him kill Abra. After an emotional moment, Abra cuts through his possessed mind and brings back the real Danny. He decides to close the door and set a fire to the Overlook once and for all. He asks Abra to go outside the hotel, but she says that she will not leave without him. Then, Danny somehow persuades her to leave the hotel. Danny has to remain behind to get the job done. He goes to the boiler room but regains control before the ghouls in the hotel can make him deactivate it. Overloading the boiler in the hotel, he watches the fire spreading. And as the last moment of peace with Wendy, Dan sees a vision of himself as a child being comforted by his mother. Abra survives the explosion as help arrives at the burning hotel. Then, sometime later, Abra is seen speaking to Danny's spirit just like he used to speak with the spirit of Chef Dick Halloran. Then Danny comforts Abra. He tells her to keep shining and not to hide her gifts from the world. They assure each other that they both will be alright. Abra starts to own her powers and finally tells her mother the truth that she's been conversing with Uncle Danny's spirit. She tells her that Danny and her dad are at peace. In the final scene, Abra sees a woman in the tub while heading to the bathroom to trap Overlook Hotel's insidious ghoul. Thanks for watching, guys.